long, 2014. You entertained us but good. To say goodbye, we've been enjoying a retrospective of the top 10 movies of 2014. At the box office, plus my own personal list, which for the first time ever included what I thought were the worst films of 2014. But what better way to wrap things up than to take a look at your top 10? Yes, over the holidays, I asked you to vote for what you thought were the top 10 movies of 2014, and I'm thrilled to announce that more BTT viewers participated than ever this year. You put together a pretty interesting list, so without further ado, let's take a look. Just squeaking in at number 10, barely beating out Edge of Tomorrow and Big Hero 6, is Birdman. Alejandro Gonzalez Inarritu did something unusual for the indie circuit. He appealed to the fanboy community, exploring what happens to our favorite comic book heroes after they don their cape. This coincides brilliantly with the current fanboy gravitation towards more intellectual content, thank you Christopher Nolan, and has resulted in a hot Oscar contender that has the fanboy, and therefore the internet, stamp of approval. Will your admiration for Michael Keaton's comeback translate into strong Oscar ratings? Not so much at the box office though, at least so far. Then while Big Hero 6 didn't make your top 10, two other animated films did, and the first at number 9 is How to Train Your Dragon 2. As DreamWorks Animation fights to just stay alive, Jeffrey Katzenberg can take heart that he's at least getting one franchise right. He and director Dean DuBois want to keep it that way, which is why they've pushed back the release date for the final entry from 2016 to 2017 to make sure it lives up to the hype. Just one question, how old is Hottie Hiccup going to be this time around? Speaking of things that age well, that's definitely how one could describe Ben Affleck's career. You loved him in Argo, and you also loved him this year in Gone Girl. But while number 8 reaffirmed your love affair with Affleck and David Fincher, it also made you finally take notice of an actress who's actually been around for quite some time, Rosamund Pike. Then again, it was a pretty noticeable performance. You know what's in store for Affleck and Fincher, but I bet a lot of you are now wondering what the future holds for Pike as well. Can we maybe recast Emma Frost? And while Christopher Nolan didn't unanimously make all the top 10 lists per usual, you still found a place for him on yours with Interstellar at number 7. In Nolan We Trust isn't just a fad, it's a state of mind, one that many of you are clearly still enjoying. But do you want to see him continue to experiment as he did pre-Batman? Or does he need to mix in some more mainstream flicks a la Batman to hold your interest? Then another talent who's built up incredible audience loyalty is Andy Serkis, and you continue to be fascinated with his motion capture work as Caesar. But while Serkis has undeniably created something unique here, are screenwriters Rick Jaffa and Amanda Silver getting enough credit? We'll find out with the third entry, slated for 2016, where it looks like the duo won't be returning, or perhaps only as producers. Instead, Jaffa and Silver will be bringing their scientific expertise over to the Avatar franchise, also returning in 2016. Will both Apes and Avatar make your top 10 list then? Then, at number 5, you have your other favorite animated movie of the year, the Lego Movie. This made my own top 10 list, but a number of comments protested that Big Hero 6 was far superior. But does this settle it? Either way, we already knew that we love Legos, but it looks like Phil Lord and Chris Miller are quickly becoming audience favorites as well. By the way, you placed their other film this year, 22 Jump Street, at number 15. Fourth place is another controversial pick, The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1. This is another movie that many of you clearly love, voting for it both here and at the box office. But many of you also clearly hate it, if the comment section is any indication. Which is interesting because Mockingjay Part 1 definitely plays into the more intellectual content that you're otherwise universally celebrating. What makes lots of talking in Birdman and Interstellar riveting, but boring in The Hunger Games? Alright, now it's time for no controversy. Everyone seems to agree that we're just passing time until the next Marvel movie hits theaters, regardless of the studio, as numbers 1 through 3 all hail from the House of Ideas. Third place went to X-Men Days of Future Past, proving that Bryan Singer's patchwork flick did the trick. What old movies! Thanks to time travel, Singer has wiped the slate clean, even his own films. Couple that with his refusal to be hindered by all the personal accusations against him, and you've got one gutsy guy. Then again, he probably feels he wasted enough of his career with his Superman Returns detour. Talk about a wrong turn. But now he and the X-Men franchise seem to be undeniably back on track, and perhaps on the cusp of duplicating Marvel Studios' enviable success rate. Yes, Marvel. The other studios still can't beat him even when they copy him. You had a hard time choosing your favorite Marvel movie of 2014, but in the end, second place went to Captain America: The Winter Soldier. But hey, back in 2011 you ranked him at number 6, so he's got that going for him. And this increased interest in Steve Rogers has propelled him to the center of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, right next to Robert Downey Jr. It's too early to tell what the future holds for the Guardians of the Galaxy, but right now, you love them. Many of you paid to see the film multiple times in theaters. Share your exact count down below in the comments. And now as you look back at 2014, you didn't regret spending your time or money. So now that you've crowned Star-Lord and company the best movie of the year, what do you want to see them do next? Become part of the overall Marvel Cinematic Universe, or at least for now, should Marvel Cosmic remain largely separate? And do you see any Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, or even Scarlett Johansson level stars emerging here? Be sure to share your thoughts down below. I'm Grace Randolph, and I look forward to talking movies with you throughout 2015.